My friends, how many times have you found yourself lying awake in the quiet of the night, staring into the dark, wondering why sleep has escaped you again? You close your eyes, you turn your pillow, you count the hours you have left before morning, and still your mind will not rest. For many, this pattern becomes a nightly visitor, that 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock awakening that leaves you exhausted when dawn comes. But what if I told you there is a reason, a rhythm, and a simple, natural way to help the body find peace again? When the body wakes up in the middle of the night, it's not because it has forgotten how to sleep. It is responding to a signal. One of the loudest signals in the body is a hormone called cortisol, often called the stress hormone. Cortisol's job is not bad. In fact, it's essential. It helps you wake in the morning, focus through the day, and react to danger. But when cortisol appears at the wrong time, in the middle of the night, the body cannot rest. Now, cortisol is like fire. In the right amount and at the right time, it gives warmth and energy. But if it's burning when you should be sleeping, it becomes destructive. The body is meant to have high cortisol in the morning and low cortisol at night. However, modern life has turned this pattern upside down. We fill our evenings with bright screens, emotional news, caffeine, and worry. We work under artificial light, eat late dinners, and rush from task to task. The brain receives these signals and thinks it's still daytime, so cortisol keeps flowing. Then when you finally fall asleep, your blood sugar drops or your liver cries out for attention, and cortisol rises again to rescue you, waking you up right in the middle of the night. Let's think of the body's night shift. When you sleep, the liver works to process and clean the blood. It stores sugar as glycogen to keep your energy steady. But if you've eaten poorly during the day, or if your evening meal was full of stimulants and processed foods, the liver quickly runs out of fuel. As your blood sugar dips, cortisol is released to bring sugar back into the bloodstream. This is the most common cause of waking at 2 or 3 a.m. The body isn't trying to torture you, it's trying to save you from low blood sugar. Now here's where that simple tablespoon comes in. When you take a spoonful of the right food, a small combination of natural ingredients, you can signal the body that it's safe again. Something as simple as a tablespoon of raw honey, coconut oil, or a gentle mix of both before bed can stabilize blood sugar through the night. Honey feeds the liver, coconut oil slows the release of that sugar. Together, they whisper to your body, you are nourished, you are safe, you may sleep. Why does this work so beautifully? Because the body listens to nourishment more than it listens to fear. When cortisol surges, it's the body's way of saying, I'm in danger, I need fuel, I need energy. But when you give the body a slow, steady source of natural energy, cortisol has no reason to rise. Instead, melatonin, your sleep hormone, can flow freely. Think of melatonin as the moonlight within your body. It soothes, repairs, and restores. But melatonin and cortisol are opposites. When one rises, the other falls. So, to encourage melatonin, you must quiet cortisol. You can't force yourself to sleep, but you can create the conditions where sleep happens naturally. The modern world has forgotten that sleep is not a switch we turn off and on, it's a rhythm we honor. It begins long before your head touches the pillow. Every choice you make during the day, what you eat, how you breathe, the thoughts you think affects how you sleep at night. If you rush through the day in stress, if you skip meals or live on coffee and screens, your cortisol stays high. And when night comes, your body doesn't know it's time to rest. Let's imagine a day lived in harmony. You wake with the sun, you move your body gently, allowing circulation and oxygen to flow. You eat real food, food that grew in the light of the sun. You pause in gratitude before each meal. You step outside even for a few minutes to let natural light touch your eyes. You take breaks, you breathe deeply, you keep your blood sugar steady. Then, as evening approaches, you dim the lights, you slow the pace, you eat a light meal, and you let the body wind down naturally. In that kind of day, cortisol will rise and fall just as it was designed to do. But what about those nights when, despite your best efforts, you still find yourself awake? This is where the wisdom of nourishment comes in again. The tablespoon remedy is not a gimmick, it's a reminder. It reminds the liver that it has enough. It reminds the body that there is no emergency. It reminds your nervous system that it can turn the fire down. The tablespoon can take many forms: a spoon of honey stirred into warm water, a spoon of nut butter, or a spoon of coconut oil with a sprinkle of sea salt. Each one carries the same message. Honey replenishes glycogen. Coconut oil provides steady energy. A touch of salt restores minerals and calms the adrenal glands. You don't need much. Just a taste is often enough. You see, our ancestors didn't have sleep problems the way we do today. They rose with the light, ate foods full of minerals, and allowed their bodies to rest when darkness came. Their cortisol cycles followed the sun. But modern life has replaced natural light with screens and natural calm with constant stimulation. We have more information than ever, but less wisdom about how to live simply. The truth is, your body is already trying to heal. Every night it sends you signals. A racing heart, a restless mind, a sudden awakening. These are not punishments, they are communications. The body is saying something is out of balance. When you respond with nourishment rather than frustration, you help it restore harmony. Let's take a moment to explore what cortisol actually does. In the morning, it wakes you up. It tells your liver to release stored sugar so you can start the day. It helps you focus and gives you energy. But cortisol is meant to decline as the day goes on. By evening, it should be low enough for melatonin to rise. If cortisol remains high, you feel wired but tired, exhausted yet unable to sleep. That's because your nervous system is still in alert mode. What keeps cortisol high? Caffeine after midday, bright light at night, high stress, processed sugar, and emotional stimulation. Even checking your phone before bed can spike cortisol because the light and information stimulate your brain, and yet the solution is so beautifully simple. The same body that reacts to stress can also respond to calm. Breathing deeply lowers cortisol. Gentle stretching before bed lowers cortisol. A dark, quiet room lowers cortisol. And that little tablespoon of natural food before bed tells the body it's safe to rest. Now, let's talk about the liver again, because it plays the lead role in this nighttime drama. The liver is the body's battery. It stores energy when you eat and releases it when you sleep. But if that battery is drained or overloaded with toxins, it struggles to maintain balance. The liver depends on minerals like magnesium and potassium, on vitamins from fresh fruits and vegetables, and on rest to regenerate. When it's overwhelmed by processed foods, alcohol, or stress hormones, it cannot keep blood sugar steady through the night. That's when cortisol has to step in. So, to sleep well, you must care for your liver. Eat simple, whole foods. Avoid eating late, heavy meals. Drink water throughout the day to help the liver flush out waste. Support it with foods like beets, leafy greens, lemons, and herbs such as dandelion and milk thistle. These nourish the liver so that it can store glycogen efficiently and release it gently through the night, keeping cortisol low and sleep deep. If you find yourself awake at 2 in the morning, don't panic. Panic only raises cortisol higher. Instead, breathe deeply, place your hand on your abdomen, and remind yourself that this is just your body asking for reassurance. You might take that small spoonful of honey or coconut oil, sip some water, and lie quietly, focusing on slow breaths. Often, within minutes, you'll feel a wave of calm move through you, and sleep will return. The nervous system is like a river. When cortisol is high, the river runs fast and rough. When you breathe, nourish, and calm yourself, the water's slow and clear. You cannot fight the current, but you can guide it back to balance. Every time you choose to soothe rather than stimulate, you teach your body trust. And when the body trusts, it heals. Sleep returns, not as a reward, but as a natural result of harmony restored when you begin to live in a way that honors the rhythm of your body. The nights start to change. At first, the awakenings may still come, but they become shorter, gentler. You find that instead of lying there anxious, you can breathe, feel your heart slow, and drift back into sleep. This is not because of any miracle product. It is because the body has been reminded that it is safe again. Safety is the antidote to cortisol. Safety does not only mean physical protection, it means an inner feeling of calm, the absence of threat. Your body cannot tell the difference between a lion chasing you and a flood of worries running through your mind at midnight. To your adrenals, both are emergencies. So one of the greatest acts of healing you can offer yourself is the practice of calm thought. Each time you notice your mind racing, say softly, "I am safe." With practice, this becomes a new pattern. The adrenals sit like two small caps on top of your kidneys, but their influence reaches every system in your body. They control cortisol and adrenaline. They help regulate blood pressure, blood sugar, and immune function. When they are overworked, they cry out through fatigue, irritability, and insomnia. Many people think their sleep problems are only in the mind, but often the root lies in tired adrenals that cannot keep up with chronic stimulation. To soothe these little glands, we must return to nourishment. Real food, gentle movement, sunlight in the morning, darkness at night, laughter and rest. These are their medicines. The tablespoon trick at bedtime is one part of this healing, but the larger cure is found in daily rhythm. Let us talk for a moment about rhythm, because the body is a symphony of cycles. The heart beats, the lungs breathe, the stomach churns, the liver cleanses, and the hormones rise and fall in patterns. When we ignore these rhythms, chaos begins. Late night meals, erratic sleep, constant screens, irregular light, all of these confuse the body's orchestra. Cortisol begins to play when melatonin should be conducting. The result is insomnia. But when we restore rhythm, harmony returns. Wake with the light, step outside, and let your eyes greet the morning sun. That single act anchors your circadian rhythm for the day. The light enters your eyes and tells your brain, it is morning. 12 hours later, your brain will remember and begin producing melatonin. This is why morning light is so essential to nighttime rest. During the day, eat at regular times. Balanced meals steady your blood sugar and prevent cortisol spikes. Choose whole foods, vegetables, fruits, grains, seeds, legumes, and healthy fats. Avoid the constant grazing that keeps your insulin and cortisol bouncing up and down. Instead, give your body time between meals to digest and rest. In the evening, lower the lights. Candlelight or soft amber lamps are far kinder than bright blue screens. Let the last 2 hours before sleep be calm and quiet. Read something uplifting. Stretch gently. Write down the day's gratitudes. These rituals signal to the nervous system that the danger has passed and rest may begin. Now, about that tablespoon again. Many people ask, why does something so small make such a difference? The answer lies in the brain's chemistry. When cortisol rises in the night because of low blood sugar, the brain interprets that as stress. A tiny taste of natural sweetness reassures it. The glucose enters the bloodstream, tells the liver to relax, and switches off the emergency signal. Within minutes, cortisol begins to drop, and the body re-enters the parasympathetic state, the state of rest and repair. The parasympathetic state is like a garden where healing grows. Digestion resumes, muscles relax, the heartbeat slows, and the immune system does its quiet work. The more often you visit this state, the stronger your health becomes. The tablespoon of honey, the breath, the dark room, all of these are keys that open the gate to that garden. Let's speak of light once more, for light is both friend and foe. We need sunlight by day, but darkness by night. Artificial light after sunset confuses the pineal gland, which produces melatonin. Even a small amount of blue light from a phone can delay melatonin release for hours. If you must use devices, use a red or amber filter, or better yet, put them aside. Remember that sleep is not wasted time. It is when the body does its deepest repair. During sleep, growth hormone is released. cells rebuild, tissues mend, memories are sorted. Cortisol should be at its lowest then, allowing this delicate work to happen undisturbed. But if you wake at 2 or 3 in the morning, that repair is interrupted. The tablespoon method can help you slip back into that healing phase, but preventing the spike in the first place is even better. To prevent it, nourish your adrenals throughout the day. Salt is important here. Natural sea salt or Himalayan salt, not processed table salt. A pinch of salt in your water helps maintain mineral balance and supports adrenal function. So does magnesium from leafy greens, seeds, and nuts. When the adrenals have what they need, they do not. Panic at night. Emotion plays a role too. Unresolved tension and unspoken worries echo in the night. The quiet hours amplify what we suppress by day. Before sleep, speak your gratitude aloud, release your concerns to paper or prayer and let them go. Emotional peace lowers cortisol as surely as good food does, and there is movement. Gentle exercise during the day improves insulin sensitivity and helps regulate cortisol. A walk after dinner aids digestion and clears the mind. Avoid heavy workouts late at night, as they can raise cortisol when it should be falling. Let your evenings be slow, your mornings bright, your meals regular, and your thoughts kind. If you ever doubt that these small acts matter, remember that the body responds to consistency more than intensity. You do not have to change everything overnight. Each evening you choose calm over chaos, you are teaching your body a new song. Soon it will remember the melody of deep sleep. The tablespoon of honey or coconut oil before bed is the body's gentle lullaby. It tells your cells all is well. Combined with steady rhythm, nourishing meals, and peaceful thoughts, it becomes part of a larger dance of balance. The night becomes friendly again. You close your eyes, feel the warmth spread through your chest, and sleep returns like a tide. When the body begins to trust the rhythm you've built for it, it starts to reward you in ways that feel almost miraculous. You wake feeling rested instead of drained. Your thoughts become clear, your digestion steadier, and even your moods begin to level out. These are the signs that cortisol